From the Night Shift Crew Studios in the DC metro area, this is The Statement Show. I am your host, Terry James, along with my co-host, Zach Chahee. We're covering sports, technology, entertainment, news, and everything in between. The lights are on. Welcome back to another episode of The Statement Show. I'm Terry James.
And I'm Zach Chahee. And you're listening to a podcast that fits in no category. Today we talked to Fran Drescher. That's right, everybody. The nanny, Fran Drescher. We talked to her about her Cancer Society Foundation, which is Cancer Schmancer Movement. You go to her website, it's cancerschmancer.org. Talk to her about her new TV show, Happily Divorced. They're currently taping right now. Ralph Macchio returning. She talks about some of the new things going on with the shows. We talked a little bit about the show Happily Divorced, and we talked more about the Cancer Schmancer movement that she is involved in.
I thought that she was fantastic. I mean, I don't know about yourself, Zach, but when we got on the phone with her, I was kind of a little like, oh my goodness, that's really her, because her voice is so distinct, I'm like, sure. Oh my goodness, that really is Fran Drescher.
Anybody thought, her laugh, that her voice is kind of like a character thing that she does? It's not. That's her.
No way. And that's her.
So she was
very nice.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic person to talk to, and very, very. We even screwed up a little bit in the beginning. We accidentally hung up on her. She came back on. She was really patient with us, and I appreciate that, Fran. I want everybody to take note and listen to what she has to say, because it's very important. This is kind of a serious episode, so I want everybody to listen to it. Like I said, go to her website, and if you can, open up your wallet or your purse and maybe make a $5 donation on there and help support the cause, because it's a good cause.
Absolutely.
Okay. Without further ado, here's Fran Drescher. We welcome the lovely, talented Fran Drescher to the show, accomplished author, well known for her role as Fran Fine in the hit TV series The Nanny, her new show Happily Divorced, and the founder of the Cancer Schmancer Movement. Fran, we welcome you to the Statement Show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Okay, so tell us about your TV show. Are you still in hiatus right now, or are you taping the third season?
No, actually, we're taping the new season, and it's really a great one. I feel so excited. I can't wait for people to start watching it. We premiere on November 28th on Wednesday night at 10:30 after Hot in Cleveland on TV Land. And we have great guest stars. I was just editing last week's show, and it's just thrilling how the show has evolved and grown, and the kind of stars that we're attracting to it now, and the favorable audience response. It's really very encouraging and very satisfying.
Ralph Macchio still on the show?
Ralph is going to be on this season as well, and Florence Henderson and Robert Wagner is on. We've got Cyndi Lauper and Debbie Mazar, and a lot of great guest roles. It's a very exciting season.
Fantastic. So when's the new season start?
Well, we're in production now, and it will air on November 28th, is the premiere episode.
And that's going to be Wednesday nights at 10:30 on TV Land?
Correct.
So it's a fantastic show. Hilarious.
I just wanted to know, obviously, we know that The Nanny was extremely popular. Do you think you'll always be the nanny to everyone, or have you kind of went past that now, or do you feel like you're always going to be the nanny?
I'm happy to always be referred to as the nanny. It's an iconic character that has become part of classic television and continues to play worldwide each and every day. And I created that show, and so I refer to it as my baby, and I love it, and I continue to support it. And I'm happy that my fans continue to follow me and embrace my brand of comedy in Happily Divorced, which I'm happy to say we have a lot of the same writers from The Nanny, and it's really another laugh-out-loud sitcom.
What is it about this show that has really set apart from The Nanny? I mean, you co-wrote this show with your ex-husband as well.
Yes, and what sets it apart is that I'm playing a character that, of course, is older and is in a point in her life where she finds herself middle-aged and divorced and trying to acclimate to being single and dating and dealing with reinventing her relationship to her husband of 18 years after he realizes that he's gay. The global message of the show is love is love, and I think that at this stage in my life and my career, I like, if at all possible, for the projects that I'm involved with to have some kind of a important social message.
That just keep the message positive and that everybody can get along no matter what their differences.
Yes, I think that, that's the way we have to start thinking in the 21st century. Remember what America stands for and embrace it and practice it.
I see that you've officiated a few gay marriages yourself.
I have. Proudly, and I'm wearing purple today in recognition of GLAAD's Equality Day.
Now, moving over to your Cancer Schmancer, obviously with this month being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and obviously breast cancer, the message that they put out, very mainstream. We kind of see it everywhere, and rightly so. Do you feel that it's much harder to get the message out regarding the many other types of cancer?
No, I think that it's not about the hard part is staying afloat as a nonprofit in these economic times. Mm-hmm. So many of them are falling to the wayside that that's a challenge. Sure. But I think that what we kind of promote and condone is early detection, because if you catch it on arrival, 95% survival. Prevention, because 90% of cancer is environmental. So if you choose to live a more healthy, toxic-free, carcinogen-free lifestyle, you can effectively reduce your risk of cancer. And then policy change. As Americans, we are lucky enough to be able to have a voice and to express it in Washington and with our elected officials. And I think that that's something that every American should become more active in. But certainly, Cancer Schmancer does that. And we really are at a place where we kind of embrace the reduction of all cancers. So there really isn't one particular kind of cancer. But we're dealing with a nation that has been so brainwashed into, plowing trillions of dollars into trying to find a cure for cancer since Nixon waged the war on cancer. It's hard to get people to actually engage in the concept of changing their lifestyle, which actually is the best way to cure cancer. Don't get it in the first place. Okay. And that's kind of our philosophy. It's a new space in the cancer world, and so changing people's hearts and minds into letting go of the idea that there's going to be a single magic pill that's going to take away cancer kind of has been challenged by the President's Cancer Panel report of 2010, a 200-page report that said basically we have to reduce this inundation of toxins that we surround ourselves with each and every day, because cancer is never going to go away otherwise. And it's just going to get worse. It's going to mutate. It's going to be hard to deal with. It's going to change. I think that, the time has come. We're in a new century. We're at the beginning of a new century when historically new ideas take hold and sort of set the trajectory for the next 100 years. And we're hoping that, this kind of thinking will be fully embraced so that we can have a healthier nation. Because right now, World Health Organization determined that the United States ranks 37 in being a healthy nation, and that's really horrible.
Well, that is.
And unacceptable. So, but we have to start questioning all of those trusted brands that we use and embracing programs like the Trash Cancer program that Cancer Schmancer has just launched. And I urge all of your listeners to go to trashcancer.org or cancerschmancer.org and learn more about how you can detox your home. Because it turns out the most toxic place we spend the most time in is our home, and that we actually have a lot of control over. What we put in our mouth, on our skin, and around us with cleaning and gardening supplies. So we're urging Americans to take the check, choose, and change challenge and start next time they go to shop for something that they consider replacing the old toxic product with something that's much more healthy and carcinogen-free, both for themselves and their family. We can actually give a loud message to manufacturers simply by using the power of consumerism, because manufacturers don't want to kill us, they just want to sell us. And if something gets in between that, like, consumerism, you'll see how fast they'll start switching out their formulas. So I think that, we as Americans have to really start making some noise, and the best way to do that is with our purchasing power.
I've noticed one of the shampoos, one of the facts you had on your website was that, was it 90% of shampoos out there have formaldehyde in it?
Well, I have to say that, we had made a aggressive stance against the No More Tears shampoo that is advertised to be for your children, for your babies. And we even ran a full-page ad in The Hill, which is a newspaper in Washington, with a picture of a little girl in the bathtub with shampoo suds on her head and questioning if you know what you're putting on your baby's head. And as a result of the public response to the outrage that a children's shampoo should be heavily loaded with formaldehyde, I'm happy to say that Johnson & Johnson announced that they are in fact changing their formula and removing formaldehyde from No More Tears shampoo. So that's, a classic example. And the more people start, understanding what they're buying and that it's actually hurting us, the faster we'll start to see change. Mm-hmm. All roads, begin and end with each of us making our needs and our opinions known.
Well, by changing your consumer purchases, you kind of hit them where it hurts, and they'll do the change that is necessary to keep their consumer.
Exactly.
Well, I know, like many of us, I've lost loved ones to cancer. So, as a father of 3, I greatly appreciate how you've taken your stardom and put out such a wonderful and informative website. I mean, I had no idea how many things in your household could cause cancer. It's your website is amazing, and we greatly appreciate that.
It seemed like that these companies, though, I guess the normal consumer would feel, though, like, say, Johnson & Johnson, you almost feel like if they've come out with a product for your child, that they've already kind of considered the safety of your kid, and you would assume that, I'm afraid that's what most people assume, that, these things were made for a child and were kind of already safe and have been through the testing process. It's just, I guess a misconception there.
I know, it's kind of old school thinking that, there's anyone really looking out for you and your family more than you will. But when it comes to a profit margin and shareholders, it's hard. It's hard to find a company that's going to take the high road and do what's good for the customer. But that's something that the customers can start to dictate. And when I speak to, sustainable businesses that are moving into this new century with better kind of philosophies, that it's not only about the profit margin, it's not only about your shareholder, it's about your customer too. Mm-hmm. And it's about, taking the high road. It's about making money, but also doing the right thing. And that's where we have to start moving, and it has to start with you. So, don't be a child. Don't think that somebody is looking out for you and you can mindlessly go to the store and just take anything off the shelf and it's going to be okay. Such is not the case. Capitalism runs amok, and not everybody does right by you. Yeah. So you have to set a new standard, because we are slipping down a rabbit hole towards our own demise. 1 out of 2 men will get cancer, 1 out of 3 women. The children of today, for the first time in U.S. history, has been predicted to not live as long as their parents, and babies are being born pre-polluted with 200 to 300 chemicals found in the umbilical cord. So if that isn't a recipe for disaster, I don't know what is.
Thank you so much.
All righty.
You're a true inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate that. Thank you, and have a great day, and thanks to all your listeners for supporting Cancer Schmancer, and have a great day and be well.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody, that was Fran Drescher. Like I told you, you should go to her website, cancerschmancer.org. Tons of facts on there about the chemical effects that are in, like I learned about the shampoo. I didn't realize there was all that formaldehyde in shampoo. I'm kind of an ignorant person when it comes to certain things, and I just assumed that places like Johnson & Johnson and all these companies were kind of looking out for kids. When they make, you think when you're making a product for a kid, they're kind of making it for a kid. There's not dangerous stuff in it. So, but, as she said, that's kind of backward thinking nowadays. You have to look out for everything, and you really have to take it on your own to do the research. So go to her website and check out the facts. She's got a lot of information on there, very useful. And like I said before, if you find it in your heart, make a small donation. $5 isn't going to break anybody. And I think that if you were to donate, it would really go to a good cause and help out a lot of people.
Yeah, I got to be honest, Zach. When I went onto the Cancer Schmancer site, I didn't realize. Literally, you can do a search for whatever product. You could go down like through laundry detergents or household cleaning or whatever, and it'll tell you exactly how healthy something really is on there, or if there's traces of, cancer or whatever that may be in that product. So, I got to be honest, I did not realize how some of these products are that bad for you. I had no idea.
It just, what she's trying to emphasize is the fact that we all do things in our everyday life. We all use things as a matter of convenience that have properties in them that could result, down in your life as a cancer-causing agent. So there's things that you can do, and simple things that you can do, that you can change in your life that would help kind of reduce the risk. So there's always something that you can do to kind of reduce the risk of cancer.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you think, in your life, when somebody has cancer, you always say, oh my goodness, see, I don't have, my grandmother didn't have it, or my father does, so we don't really have that hereditary. But by the way she was talking, and even her site will say that a high percentage of it is actually environmental. It has really not, it doesn't have as much to do with hereditary as you think. So, if you're using some things in your house, or, just go around, take a look at her site, take a look at the products that you use. It's very informative. We really learned a lot today.
Like I said, we really appreciate everybody coming and listening to the show and your continuing support. We have quite the following on Twitter. And how can people find us on Twitter, Terry?
It is @Statement Show, and also on our website at www.thestatementshow.com.
Exactly. If you have any questions for us, go ahead and get on our website at thestatementshow.com and go to the contact link. You could help support our show, buy through one of our links. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps us out a little bit. We get a little taste. Just go ahead, hit us on the contact page if you have a question about some guests we have coming up, or if there's something you want to ask somebody we've already talked to, maybe we can get them back on at a later date. From Zach Chahee
and Terry James.
Go ahead to the website, send us out a little email and tell us how we're doing. Follow us on Twitter. Go ahead to iTunes and subscribe to our show. Leave a comment. That is very helpful. Leave us a comment. What can we change? What's not going good for you?
And we will completely ignore it.
Exactly.
No, just kidding.
I mean, who's kidding?
We take constructive criticism on the show very, very badly.
Exactly. You know, I mean, you leave a nasty comment, and I'm only going to cry for 10 minutes.
You will be unfollowed on Twitter.
So go ahead and leave us a message. We'll ignore it. We'll delete it, and I'll cry for a few minutes. You know, Terry will hold me.
Absolutely.
And then we'll get on with our life. That's at thestatementshow.com. Anyway, Terry, I think it's time to turn off the lights of another episode of The Statement Show.
Yes, sir. See ya.
That's where you say Terry James.
And Terry James. Hold on. Stop, buddy.
Thank you, and have a great day, and thanks to all your listeners for supporting Cancer Schmancer, and have a great day and be well.
Thanks for joining us at The Statement Show. If you like the show, go to our website at thestatementshow.com and click on one of our affiliates. Subscribe to our show at iTunes and Stitcher Radio. Also, check us out on Facebook and YouTube, and at Twitter at Statement Show. For comments or concerns, or to be a guest on The Statement Show, email us at thestatementshow@gmail.com.